Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeff from Take Charge, and our mission here is to motivate, educate, and elevate our listeners. I'm actually here tonight with Minister Kathy Eccles, an up and coming minister and just walking into her purpose. So, Kathy, would you mind just saying hi to our viewers?
Hi, viewers. My name is Kathy Eccles, and it's my pleasure to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Well, look, viewers, we have a powerful message to share with you today. In fact, it's actually part two of what we started last week, and that title was "Born to Finish."
Mm.
Now, if you caught a glimpse of last week, we broke down what "born to finish" actually means, and if you break down the word "born," it really means to be brought into existence. And if you talk about finish, it really means to complete something. So, in other words, you were brought into existence to complete something. But being born does not mean brought into existence. See, when you start to develop your gifts and you start walking into the light, walking to that calling that God has for you, that's when you're brought into existence. So we live a life sometimes and we're not even really brought to existence. Sometimes we're just living but not existing. And the crazy thing is, a lot of times those blessings, those gifts are right in front of us. And it reminds me of a story that I heard about a farmer. And long ago there was a farmer on a land and he tried to farm the land and the land wasn't really bearing any crops. It wasn't able to be cultivated. He was struggling and he got word of a diamond rush and that there were lots of diamonds and diamond caves around his area. So in a haste, he packed up his stuff and he just knew he was going to strike it rich finding these diamonds. And he went out on this journey in search of diamonds. And months passed, lots of hard work, lots of aggravation, and he did not find any diamonds. Frustrated, he returned home. He gave up, sold his farm to a local man, and just went off about his way. Now that local man actually got an expert to come to the land and tried to figure out what was going on with the land, and as far as not being able to have those crops filled. He got an expert. He got advice. He brought someone else from outside of the situation to survey what was going on. And don't you know that the only reason that that land wouldn't grow was because it was full of diamonds? That man left. He left in search of the diamonds when it was right in front of him. And the reason why I bring that story up, and Kathy and I actually we go way back. I've known Kathy for quite a time, and it was just so proud to see her walking in her moment. And when you hear her speak, you'll know exactly what I mean. But she has that tone, that voice. When she speaks, people listen. I don't care what atmosphere you're in, people will listen. Amen. And it's funny that that voice, that energy that she has in front of her is actually part of her calling. So, Kathy, would you just mind sharing with our viewers, what has brought you to the point where you are today?
Oh, thank you for inviting me, like I said again. And
My pleasure.
Man, what brought me here is I just got tired of living the way that I was living. I wasn't getting anywhere. I just, you going through the same everyday hustle bustle, but I was not getting nowhere. Just wasn't satisfied with self.
Yes.
So I wanted something different, and I asked God. I said, God, I was going to church every Sunday, doing this, doing that, but I still wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't fulfilled. So I'm like, something has to go. So God, whatever it is that you have for me, and I meant it. I meant it. Whatever it is that you got to do to get me to do whatever it is you want me to do, I'm willing to do it. So here I am. Here I am, no more doing some of the things that I used to do, drugs and drinking and none of that stuff. I just gave my life to Christ totally and wholeheartedly. I wanted to be used, a vessel for Him, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. Just
Powerful
being used.
stuff.
It's being used.
And what you said right there, you said that you meant it.
Yeah. And
a lot of times we ask for things or we desire things, but deep down we really don't want it or we doubt it. and when we really believe, that's the way for us to get out of our own way.
Yes.
And let the ultimate end. Let it go away from you. And I had the pleasure of seeing her speak to her church on Sunday, and it almost brought tears to my eyes because, first of all, the transparency that she had. Sometimes you have to be, not even sometimes, you have to know where you are in order to know where you're going. You have to be transparent. You have to admit your faults. And last week I was saying the same thing. I was just tired, sick and tired of being tired.
Yes.
And you go through life thinking or trying to put on this mask, and you don't feel fulfilled. You feel like every day is the same. What are we working towards? And I want to ask you, have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt like you're just living to live? There's really no purpose for your life. Do you feel like every day is just the same old, same old? In fact, a lot of people get used to saying that. Hey, how you doing? Same old, right? And if you don't mind, and the reason why I really brought you on this show is because I want, first of all, I want the viewers to know it's not just me, and there are so many other people out here taking charge of their destiny. And if you could just share a little bit of your story. And now I know that you've been called, and kind of let me set that up. So we used to go to the same church, right? And we both kind of went our separate ways. But for some reason now you see or feel the need to actually speak in front of the congregation. And a lot of times we get to a breaking point. We get, like you said, we get to, it's enough is enough is enough.
Correct.
And sometimes it's hard to even realize where you are when you're in it, when you're going through it, because it's easier to avoid that pain. It's easier to avoid that realization. Could you just share a little bit of your background story? And I know you were talking about some of the things that you used to do, but if you don't mind, would you mind going into detail, because someone out here needs to hear this?
That's the whole thing that I love about God. He meets us right there at right there in my mess. He met me. He met me at my mess, and at the point where it was, the men wasn't doing it, the smoking the marijuana wasn't doing it, drinking 1800 coconut was my favorite. That's me. Right. I love that, and because it went down smooth, and I thought that's what I needed. Right. But even in all of that, it didn't fulfill me. So I got to a point where, look, God, like, if this is what you have for me, I need you to take all those addictions away from me. I need to, because I want to be used and used effectively. And he can't use me in my mess. He'll meet me right there, though. Right. He'll meet me right there. But if I want to be used and used effectively, I gotta surrender all to him. Surrendering all to him, and that's exactly what I did. I mean, man, I'm not the person I used to be. I mean, some people know me, whoremonger, drugs. I've been married twice out of emotions. I'm telling my story. Right. And just wanting to be, not being an effective daughter, not being an effective mother, not being an effective church member, or whatever the case may be. Wow. Yeah, we went to the same church, but I wasn't doing right, because I was praising God during the morning, and at night I was drinking and doing what I wanted to do. So you get to a point where I got to a point where that was no longer enough, because I refused to gain all the worldly gifts. That's just me. And then have my soul go straight to hell. So I mean, you've been taught all that stuff as you grow, and it's real. Yeah, it is. It's real. God is real. Everywhere. Everywhere and everything that we do. So if you don't believe, look at me. Look at me. My life is a testament that he is real. That he can take, if you ask him and you sincerely mean it, he will take you. You will soar, but you got to go through some things. It ain't going to be easy. People going to talk about you and all that. Look, now she preaching. She thinks she's better than me. She thinks something is now she preaching. Right. See her on a Thursday night at Corinthians. But that was me. Yes, it was.
And see, first of all, I hope you're getting this, viewers, because she said so much. And the transparency, the saying, the truth shall set you free.
Yeah, I live my own truth. Woo. I don't worry about, I mean, I'm at the point, I'm 43 years old. And I'm at a point where I don't care what people say about me. I know that my life is God has a plan for me. And in order for me to do what thus saith the Lord, I can't listen to what you say, and that lets me know that I'm doing my job. Wow. Because you're talking about me.
You know what?
And that free advertisement. Thank you. Keep on talking about me. That's right.
And it's so funny because I want to add to that. First of all, the truth will set you free, but
that's right.
Your truth will set you free.
That's right.
And your truth is not the same for everybody. This is why everyone can't go with you on your journey.
That's right.
Everyone's not meant to go with you into your journey. But like she said, when you give honor to God and when you get it outside of yourself and you step into your truth, He will answer you right where you are. He will show you the gifts and the purpose. And this is why sometimes people go to church and get born again, but I think we lose the meaning of that. Because really being born again is just being born into a purpose, a higher calling. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to testify right now. I promise to you, as much as we are sitting in front of you, you are witnessing two individuals being born again, being born into existence. We were tired of living. We were just tired of going every day in and out. And I don't want to make it like we can all do this.
Yes, we can.
If you really want to, you can do this. You were born with the power.
That's right.
But you have to be able and be willing to bring it into existence.
Right.
You have to.
Yes.
And you can't be afraid of what people think because people will laugh. That's your story. You need that to give you strength. You need that to give you clarity because some of you have some friends that aren't really your friends.
That's right.
They're just there because of circumstance.
Correct.
And those same friends could be holding you away from your blessings. Holding you. I mean, now as you were in your heyday, so to speak, did you ever feel a calling of God, or did you ever feel a purpose or get a glimpse of what you're doing now, or did it kind of just boom come out of nowhere? Were there certain clues or hints, or do you think there were certain instances where He was saying, hey, check this out, or hey, maybe you were meant to do this and maybe you didn't see it at that point?
I've always had a calling on my life. I've always known it, but it was much easier to run from it than to just walk into it. Because I've always wondered, worried about what somebody was going to say about me.
Right.
Oh my, what is Jeff going to think about me? What is so and so going to think about me? Now she's preaching and whatever the case may be. But you have to get to a point where that doesn't even matter.
Right.
If you know that God has called you to do that certain something, you gotta walk into it, regardless of what anybody says, regardless of what anybody thinks. Because your family members might not understand it, your friends not going to understand it, your co-workers not going to understand it, but you intuitively know that God called you to do a certain something. You got to do it.
Wow.
You got to do it, and I promise you, it's going to come to pass. It's going to come to pass, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but what we do for Christ lasts. Only what we do for Christ lasts.
And
only what we do.
You said something very powerful. You knew you always had a calling, but it was easier to run away from than it was to walk into.
Yes.
And that is, I really want to say that is true for everyone's purpose. It's easy to run. It's so easy to run. It's easy to run away from a marriage. It's easy to run away from an opportunity. It's easy to run away from the weight of being a parent. And I say this with truth because even in my own life, I got to a point where I was trying to fake it, but when I came home, I couldn't hide to myself.
Right.
And I would go downstairs and I would literally just sit in my office for hours and hours doing nothing. And my kids were upstairs, and don't get me wrong, I love my kids and I did things for them. But it's different being home and being a father, being a parent. And it's so easy to get wrapped up. How many people are just at home right now probably on Facebook or probably just watching TV and wondering why the kids are getting on their nerves. You've got to be willing to embrace.
You got to be a part of.
You got to be a part of it. Yeah. It's so easy to walk away. It is so easy. And if you find yourself walking away from your destiny, remember that in all things, in God, all things are possible. Amen. But you have to be willing to go through it. And it is hard, but that's exactly why you will get the blessings, because as you step into your light, as you step into your purpose, things will be placed in front of you that are designed to help you excel. Exactly. You think this is just coincidence that Kathy and I are here? Absolutely not. And I've had so many good people put in my path once I made a decision to finish what I was born to do. And just a few shout outs here. Mr. Kevin White in Louisiana, thank you so much for being such a mentor. Reginald Gann, thank you for starting Serve. And there's so many other people out there that have really helped me along the way. And I really feel that they were placed strategically in order to not only just help me in my cause, but to help them in their cause. And if that's not God, I don't know what is, because I don't know who else can be a strategic master like that. Yeah. Where there's some people that were instrumental in your, because, and the reason why I say this is because I think sometimes we get, one of the reasons why it's so easy to run away is because it's hard and we think we have to do it all by ourselves. We think that it's all us or none of us or nothing. And I want you to know that it's not just you, and you can't achieve your purpose alone. But I don't want you to just take it from me. Kathy, were there any other people that were instrumental in you actually taking this leap of faith?
Pastor Kelly Fox, I love him so much, and I'm at church they call me his hype man, because we each other hype man, man, to the point where he seen something in me that I knew it was there, but he helped me push. He pushed me into my purpose, and being able to and seeing that, seeing the anointing on my life, seeing the greatness within me, letting me know that I was made for this, because I questioned myself.
We all do. That's normal.
I did, sis, that's his sis. You made for this. You made for this. That's my man. I love him. The transparency that he shows me. That we're not perfect people.
No,
we're not perfect people, but God gives us the opportunity to have a daily reprieve to get it. What I didn't get right today, I can get right tomorrow. Absolutely. So my mother, I love my mother. She always been in my corner, pushing me, trying to get me to do what she knew I was made to do, but it wasn't in her time, it was in God's time. Right. Friends, my sister Nakia, gotta shout her out. Hey, but just letting me know that I can. Sometimes when this walk, oh God, this walk can be so lonely. But when you have people that push you or that encourage you, because it's not going to be easy. But when you have those that encourage you, that support you in what you do, it makes it a little easier. Even if you don't have any support system, sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back or just push your own self and encourage your own self.
Right. And I'm so glad you said that, because one, it does take more than just you to fulfill your purpose. It does take some encouragement. And if you're out there and you feel like you're not getting any encouragement, then seek it. Go out and seek it. Go out and find those people who are like-minded like yourself.
Correct.
Go out and seek it. And a lot of times we can seek it. And I'll tell you the truth, I met some really great gentlemen that I think we're going to do some great things. And we were just sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I was just sharing my story.
Right.
Just being transparent. And next thing you know, that gave them the permission to open up, and we just created a bond right there in Buffalo Wild Wings. But sometimes we just, again, we keep it all in.
Yeah.
We're worried about what other people are going to think.
Yeah.
And we keep it in. And again, that person sitting right next to you could be who God strategically placed in your life to take advantage of. And not to take advantage of in a bad way, but you get my drift.
Right.
So, guys, you have to be willing to stand up for what you believe in.
Yes.
You have to, because if you don't stand for anything, you can fall for anything. If you don't stand in God, you can easily fall for the devil.
Yes, yes.
If you don't stand in positivity, then
Mm-hmm.
negativity can easily take over your life. And you don't even realize that it's happening.
Right.
You know, I remember a lot of times where I would just lash out at my kids, you know, for really for nothing. Maybe they make a little noise, but because I was frustrated with my life,
I
with
understand.
me,
Yeah.
the littlest thing that I couldn't control,
Right.
I just harped on. And the more that I started working towards me and working on me and realizing that nothing that we do is in our control. I've got to give it away.
Yeah,
I've got to. It's given me so much more patience, so much more appreciation, and I can really start seeing the true beauty of things. And I'm starting to look with my vision rather than my sight.
Right.
And I don't know if you want to share anything about that, but when we really decide to work harder on ourselves, and Kathy said the same thing. She wanted to work hard on herself. She wanted God to use her as a vessel.
Correct.
She was willing to do whatever it took.
Right.
That's faith. And you can't get anywhere without faith. But do you want to say anything about that?
Just in my sermon, just sitting here thinking, I remember Exodus, I came from Exodus 3:13 through 15. And just Moses being who he was destined to be who he was. Regardless of what he did, regardless of how Pharaoh tried to keep him out, him killing the Egyptian for beating the Hebrew people, him going to Midian and running from Pharaoh and all that. He was destined to be who he was. You can run all you want to, but God is, and he was and is going to have his way. And this time, one time or another, he's going to have his way. So you gotta, like, no matter what happens, man, just go for it. Cause I'm destined to be a minister. That's my purpose, to be a minister, to be able to. It's so easy for me to talk to people. Right. I have no problem being transparent because I have no problem with my past because I lived it.
Right.
You may have a problem with it, but I don't have a problem with it. So just being able to be transparent and let you know that I've been there before and I understand exactly what you're saying because I've lived that. That's my truth. And just like living in your truth, no matter what, it's going to be okay. Just learning how to just walk blind faith. Like I said, a whole lot of people don't have support systems. They don't have somebody they can go to that they can talk to. I have a young lady by the name of Ariel. That's my soul child, you know, and I have a soul grandchild and all that, just knowing that she can, it didn't happen. I didn't mean for it to happen that way, but just in conversation, it's so easy for me to just share myself with somebody. And that allows you to be open because you don't have, she said that, like, you know, yeah, I said that. Yes, that was me. Yes, I did those things. Yes, I understand. So it allows, when you are free and are live in your own truth, it allows another person to just be open about whatever it is that they are feeling, that they're going through. And I'm just grateful that God is just like using me, that I'm allowing myself to be free. Free from my own self, free from my own mind, free from a whole bunch of my old past. I see, man, the future is where I want to go.
That's right.
This future is where I want to go. And a good saying for me is, a whole lot of times we wonder why, why is this happening to me, or what's going on, or why this happened, or whatever. And my saying is, when you're in the picture, you can't see it. It's only until you're out of the picture that you can see the picture. Right. So meaning that, when you're in your mess, you can't see it. It's when you're out of your mess, you be like, so you just keep, it's a learning experience for me. I don't have all the answers. I never will. I don't want to have all the answers, because if I have all the answers, then that makes me like a God. No, I don't want to be that. That means that I'm still willing to be, I'm teachable. Right. I always want to remain teachable. Being a student, I want to absorb all the information I can get from you. So that make me a better person. Yeah.
And you know what? I really like how you use the story of Moses, because that really kind of just brings the entire message in full circle. That you say he was destined.
Destined.
And what I'm telling my viewers is that you were destined.
You were destined.
You were destined to finish something.
Yes.
But we don't always have that burning bush, right? And we don't always have that right in front of your face, this is what I want you to do. Sometimes we have to go in a search for it. And so funny that you mentioned the story of Moses, because after he freed the slaves, they went on a journey through the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew where they wanted to go. They were destined for the promised land.
Mm-hmm.
But because there was so much doubt,
Mm-hmm.
because they weren't seeking the guidance from God and from Moses, because they were all despaired and worried about themselves.
Correct.
That trip that should have taken a short amount of time
Jay.
took 40 years. Right? Right? You like God did that, right? But I'm telling you, because we're all destined, and how many people are just running away, just doubting themselves, just listening to all the negativity, watching all of the negativity on the news, and not realizing how it's affecting your mentality and your mindset. But we were all meant to finish something.
Amen.
And you have to go for it. Well, let me take that back. You don't have to go for it. That is your right. And guess what? You can live your life because, look, like you said in your sermon, God will let you do whatever you want to do.
That's right. Yes, He will.
You will. Now, you will be the sum of your decisions. I mean, it will come to pass, but you are free to do whatever you choose.
That's correct.
But I think there's something inside of everyone that wants to feel fulfilled. They want to have a passionate life. They want to help other people. They want to feel satisfied. But sometimes that fear of stepping into the unknown, sometimes that fear of being uncomfortable, it kind of overshadows that. And again, we don't. I was watching a powerful show by Lisa Nichols, and there was a lady who wanted to lose weight, and she started talking to her, and she just asked her, were her friends, the same size? And she wasn't even big to me, but and she felt like she needed to lose weight. And she asked, well, does her friends, are they about the same weight? And she said, well, yeah. And, do your friends encourage you to lose weight, or do they tell you that you're fine the way you are? Well, no, my friends love me, and they tell me that I'm fine the way that she is. And to make a long story short, what she brought out of that lady was that she was really afraid to leave her friends behind. She was really afraid that when she started to lose weight, that it would sever the relationship. So it was easier for her to stay in comfort with her friends. Right? It was easier to stay down and feel bad about herself, but be happy that she has friends, than to really just take that initiative and take that step and go forward. And she was in this, but I mean, you could see it on her face. She didn't even realize that she felt that way.
Right.
And I want everyone to know that no matter what you're feeling, you're not the only one. You're not the only one that's going through something. And I just hope you realize that we all have the same power. And look, as I bring this to a close, I just want to say this. I had the pleasure of going to Minister Kathy Eccles' church last Sunday, and I'll be totally honest. I am a spiritual man. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm very, very, very big on self-development and just always, getting better. But I don't go to church often. I think there's a lot of political and bureaucracy. That's my opinion. So please don't hold that against me. But when I went to your church, I rarely see the transparency and the openness, not just of you, but your entire congregation, your pastor. There was a second person that spoke, and it was just so you couldn't help but feel good when you left there. There wasn't a whole bunch of "we're holier than thou." And I'll be honest, your theme song Monday morning, I played that while I was drinking my coffee, and it just started my day off right. So, Kathy, will you mind, just for our viewers, if they really want a real church home, somewhere where they don't have to worry about being fake or being judged, will you mind letting them know how they can reach you and
Sure.
get to the church?
We are at Greater Bethesda Missionary Baptist Church at 2000 North Fulton Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland 21217, where we love on you. It's about loving on you, meeting you right there where you are. You ain't got to come there with a three-piece suit. You got some Timbs and some jeans on and a t-shirt. We accept you right there. Our main thing is that we just want you to have a better relationship with Christ. I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. We just trying to get to the next day, just trying to get to the next level together. We have on Wednesdays, like every other Wednesday, we have a gospel rap at 7 p.m. On Thursdays at 7 p.m., we do Bible study. And it's just about us loving on you. Pastor Fox, Pastor Kelly Fox either does the Bible study or Minister Dodd does it. But we just love on you. If you don't have no money, we're not gonna call you and tell you that you gotta come to church. And, because if you need some money, you gotta bring your tithes. No, we're not that type of church. If nobody gives no money that Sunday, nobody gives no money. I mean, it's not about giving money. Yes, we do need money to keep the church going, but it's not mandatory, because that's why I love my church. It's small. It's small and it's intimate. It's intimate. It's transparent. I can see you and you can see me. And if something is going wrong, even I love Pastor Kelly Fox, because every day he'll call. He might not call, but he'll text you, giving you just something, giving you something, and giving you something, letting you know he's touchable. Because most of these churches that are mega churches, you can't even You paying $1,000 worth of tithes, but at the end of the service, I can't even say nothing to you. So that has always been my issue. So just being there at Greater Bethesda has afforded me to grow, and I just can't wait just to see what God has for me. So if on any given Sunday at 11 o'clock, if you want to come past 2000 North Fulton Avenue, we would love to see you.
And look, take my word for it. If you're looking for a church home, if you're just looking, if you don't have that support system, you know that there's something inside of you, but you don't have that support system.
Amen.
This will be the place.
Amen.
And if you're not in the area, call me or email me at takechargeconsulting@gmail.com. And if I can't help, we'll make sure we work together to find something to help you towards your purpose.
Amen.
And as I close, I just want to, first of all, thank you for your time. You could have spent 30 minutes on Facebook. You could have spent 30 minutes reading a book or anything, but I'm just glad that you spent these 30 minutes with Kathy and myself. I hope that we've enriched your life just a little bit, because a little change can make a huge difference in your life. And I just hope and pray that you realize you have always had it in you, and now you have two people giving you permission to finish what you were born to do. This is Jeff from Take Charge. Thank you so much for coming out. I can't wait to see you next week. Thank you so much, Kathy, for stopping by. We're going to have to get you here again. It's been an extreme pleasure. Have a wonderful week, and make sure that you end it on a great note. Thank you so much, and take care.
Be blessed.